Hey YouTube, this is the Purple One. Welcome to Boots on the Ground. Let me first start by saying thank you for all the people that have donated, sent things. It's been overwhelming. We took a load up, I don't even know when. It's been so busy. But me and Becky went up to North Carolina, took a load up. Unbelievable what we saw. I didn't really do any footage at the distribution center, the one, because there's people there. And their life has been just totally turned upside down. And it just didn't feel right. But what I saw was average Americans helping average Americans. I didn't see FEMA, I didn't see county, I didn't see state. I just saw the hand of God, literally. I stood back at one location. They had a massive plan in place. It was run efficient. And it was really just run by individuals. Things were being passed out, things were given out, things were being organized. Couldn't say enough. We went to try to get to another location. We couldn't get there. Bridges were out. There's no way. We don't know the area, so we turned around from that location, and we went to another location we didn't even know existed to see if they needed any help, and they were doing fine. So as of today, if you're not in the process of sending anything, please don't. A lot of the organizations up there have what they need. Now, in a month from now, 2 months from now, people are going to need a lot of different things. But right now, it's fine. So if you don't have anything coming in the mail to me or to the church, please do not send anything more. It is a huge responsibility to undertake something like this because you want to make sure things are used responsibly. And that's the driving thing behind me. Who can use it? Where do they need it? Because some organizations or some groups of people, they have enough of this thing, but they don't have enough of this. So it's a huge logistical mess you have to work through in finding the right people that need the right things. Now, I stopped and helped some individual people. They were definitely in need. It was unbelievable because I had so much, and they were like, no, I need this. No, I don't need any of that. I could use that. They were picking and choosing very carefully their needs. They weren't like, I've seen people just, you drop off supplies. If you watch on TV, it's like everybody's grabbing, just getting as much as they can. This was not like this at all. I never saw any evidence of that. I stopped at one person's house and went into their house. Becky stayed in the car because the house was flooded. There was no water in it at that point, but there was 3 feet of water in the house. And I said, I have supplies from cleaning supplies to food, blankets. I had a good assortment of stuff in the vehicle. And they said, no, we don't need anything. Take it to someone else. We're fine. And I'm looking around and their house is in shambles. And they're like, not wanting anything. They were more like, we're good. We have clean supplies. We're doing good. So it was like, you scratch your head and say, these are good people. The Appalachian, these people that live out in the country in this area, unbelievable quality people. Unbelievable. They're thinking about their neighbors. Literally. They're thinking about, what does my neighbor need? What can I do for my neighbor? And they're not even thinking about themselves. It was mind-blowing to see that. Probably right now what we're trying to push is propane and propane heaters to people because it's freezing cold here. It's even cold here. Again, like 42 maybe tonight or last night. It's cold. So really that's the biggest push. A lot of times these organizations say, don't send stuff, send money. I totally understand that now. Totally. Before I was like, what do you want this money for? Because it's easier to see that need and hit it precisely. Instead of getting all this stuff in here and then you have 5 things you need and you got 50 things you don't need at that time. So I totally understand that concept of people saying it's easier and better for the organization or the group to send money because then they can get what they need and get it done quickly. I think the biggest thing you need to do in your area, because FEMA's not going to come help you, is to get to know your neighbors. If you live in a rural area, you have a volunteer fire department, you need to go down there and talk to those guys and gals. There's no disaster in your area right now, but getting contacts, getting numbers is so important. I was so proud of our church, feeding a lot of people, cooking at the church. We had power and being able to get food out to widow ladies, elderly people, or really, it don't matter who you were, you got food from us. If we knew you had a need, you didn't have to be a member of our church. Probably the only thing you needed to do is be a hungry person, and that qualified you for help. And that's how it's up there. No one's asking anybody, oh, are you a Harris supporter? Are you a Trump supporter? You left, you're right. Are you gay? You straight? No. People are trying to help each other. So let's get right into the news. There's still about 12,000 people up in the North Carolina area that have no power. And it's getting cold. So continue to pray for these people. Just utter destruction. And it's sort of funny because you could see utter destruction here, and you look over there, and the house is fine. This house is totally gone. There's no evidence of a house other than maybe some foundation or a slab. I found that amazing. But they're estimating the roads that have been destroyed up there. 38 federal highways, 3 interstates, 58 state roads, 480 secondary roads, and they're estimating the repairs could be up to $250 billion. And I understand that because literally where the road used to be, there's a mountain, and they would cut the side of the hill out and they put a road there. Now the road isn't even there, the land isn't even there, so they're going to have to go further back into the hill, or they're going to have to bring in so much fill and concrete. It's going to be amazing. General Motors said that they're getting rid of the one of their popular cars, the Chevy Malibu, and this is causing some layoffs in this area. People are tapped out, and the amount of people that are missing debt payments is gone up. It's gone up from in August 13.6, and it's now up to 14.2. These are people that cannot make one of their payments on their debt. Also, the New York Empire State Manufacturing Index, and that's really a key index of the health of New York manufacturing, that took a significant downturn. So that's just showing you we're definitely going into recession. Also coming out of New York City was there's over 150 hotels that are being rented out to house illegal immigrants. And this can be at a cost of $350 a night for these people to stay there. $350 a night for a hotel room. And this is all taxpayer money. They say there's about 14,000 hotel rooms that are going to be needed until next year to house illegal immigrants. They say the cost is just this alone is going to be about $5.76 billion. Unbelievable. This is from St. John's. That's the probably the largest university, Catholic university. They have definitely gone woke. No longer are referring to Christopher Columbus as Christopher Columbus Day. A lot of companies are not even saying that anymore. You've probably heard of the 10 million pound beef or meat recall. So this is from Bruce Pack, and it's out of Oklahoma. They're recalling 10 million pounds of meat. That's a lot of meat. International paper confirmed that they're laying off about 400 people in the Memphis area, but their total cut will be about 650 people that had good jobs are going to be unemployed. I have a list of places that have laid off, and the numbers are astonishing. I'm just going to give you numbers. 87 minus 200, minus 61, minus 135, minus 420, minus 48, minus 10, minus 70. The list goes on and on. Minus 30. City of Chicago, major problems with their budget. They're going to be laying off. They're having a huge property tax increase, so not good. CVS in Rhode Island office, 632. I hope you have a lot of concentrated orange juice in your freezer because the prices are skyrocketing now because of the 2 hurricanes they've gone through, plus they've had some diseases affecting the orange trees. So if you're a big orange juice lover, you might want to get out there now and buy some of the concentrated and put it in your freezer so you'll have it. Because if not, they are seeing it surge up to $5 a pound, and that is a staggering 433 jump from when it was at its low of about $1 a pound. We have a lot of problems with budgets, and even overseas, unbelievable amount of Europe that's having financial problems. Berlin public schools, they're facing a budget freeze and some cuts because they can't even take school trips anymore because they're broke. And you go back and see why they're broke, and it's coming out that they're trying to accommodate migrants. So they're spending a ton of money on migrants taking it away from taxpayers' children's. Found this interesting. FEMA is still paying for your funeral if you die from COVID. This would be the long COVID. They're paying up to $9,000 for funerals. It's sort of funny because they don't pay $9,000 if you die of heart disease or if you die from a stroke or you die from anything. But a lot of money is being spent. North Korea, a couple days ago, blew up some roads, blew up some bridges that tied North Korea and South Korea together. Is this just posturing, or are they preparing for a war? And this will keep definitely South Korea from invading, but it also keeps North Korea from invading South Korea. If you've ever been over there, there's these huge things on the roads that they can blow up, and that will create an instant barrier. Biden administration has said, hey, we got to help people because we got an election coming up in a few weeks. So he just announced another $4.7 million of loan forgiveness for about 60,000 people. And I think these are for like public workers, like people that were teachers or people in state government, federal government, local government. So this brings their total of what they want to forgive. And they've had some legal challenges to some of this, but they want to forgive, or they actually spent more than $175 billion forgiving loans for 4.8 million people. $175 billion. Looking at mortgage applications, it has decreased about 17% this week. So that's telling you people are not spending money. Also, Joe Biden just announced $425 million more in military aid to Ukraine. Germany said they're not going to be sending any more heavy equipment. They know Ukraine is lost. They probably want to save that equipment in case a war breaks out, because European countries have given so much. Now, yes, some of the stuff was older, but older weapon systems are still good. They still have the same effect on the battlefield. They might not be as best as the modern stuff, but we're going to be sending them more air defense capabilities, air-to-ground munitions, armored vehicles, a lot more U.S. tax money going over to Ukraine, and that is a lost cause. You can look at it any way you want, but on the ground, Russia is slowly grinding Ukraine, and it might continue for another year. I'm praying that we'll have a peace and things can settle by sitting around a table, not around the foxhole. So, Israel, the whole Middle East is gone crazy. It's nuts. Our administration, powers that be, are pushing us into a war, a conflict. I also want you to pray for the election. It seems like either side loses or wins. There could be potential problems. Will the left accept the victory of Trump? Will the right accept a victory of the Democrats? We don't know, but just pray for peace, pray for a safe election. I urge you. I've talked to some people that aren't going to vote, and that's your right not to vote. But I think it'd be wise to vote. You have so many local elections that might be decided in your area, and there's good people running. So if you're not going to vote presidential or in the national level, look at going to at least voting for your state or your local. So there you go, some boots on the ground. Sorry I've been so busy, but I will be back into the grind of giving you boots on the ground. If you got any good information from your job, information from people you know, please send it to southernprepper1@yahoo.com. That information is probably the best information to really feel and really see what's going on in the country and really in the world. Thanks for watching.